Okay, let's take a look at the lab Introduction to IAM, that's Identity and Access Management. All the labs in this course are in the AWS Academy Canvas course, so we'll log into that real quick and we'll open up Lab 1, Introduction to AWS IAM. Now I went ahead and clicked Start Lab a few minutes before recording because this takes a few minutes to get going, and I didn't want you to have to wait here, of course. And then I went ahead and opened that in a new tab and brought it over here for you. So now we're at the point where we can get started and see what is this that we're going to do. So one thing to note is on these AWS labs, they give you some definitions along the way. So you always know what it is that we're working with and what are we doing. And identity and access management is a very critical part of cloud computing because this is all about your permissions, the group and user permissions, your security credentials, and how do you protect your cloud infrastructure. So in the lab, we're going to build this 3 users and 3 groups setup. Here I have a slightly larger image of it over here. So as we go through each of the tasks, you'll see that we build this and assign policies to the users. Is this something that you'll do in the real world when you're getting paid to work with AWS? Every single time, every project, big or small, first thing you're going to do is set up the identity and access management, at least in the beginning for you and the developers or you and the management. So you can check the bullet points here is what we're going to be doing. And this is broken down into tasks. So if we go back at the Mount SAC lab, you'll see to take screenshots of the console as you complete the tasks. Well, we'll be working in the console on the right for this video. You may have them side by side or on 2 different monitors. But then as we complete each task, we'll grab a screenshot to submit in the box by clicking Insert Image, Upload Image. All right, let's get on with the lab here. Note we're in the lab, so not everything in AWS works. And of course, we don't want you to spend your own money. So just use the lab credits that we have. You get 4 hours per lab and it'll be great. So here's some definitions. This is something you want to make notes of. Copy this, paste it in your notes, or just take a moment to write it down. It's a 40-minute lab and you have 4 hours to finish it. So you have time to work on this. And you can always restart the lab. If you get towards the 4-hour mark and you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe I want to keep this going, just click the Start Lab again and wait for that to turn green and you'll be good. So first things first, and this is the part I did before the video, I clicked Start Lab, and then once it was green, I opened up the tab. So this says getting credit for your work, but we're not using the AWS Academy for your grades. We're using AWS Academy for the practice tests, for all the videos, and to get access to the Vocarium Lab so that you don't have to use your credit card and hopefully not spend money. So you don't need to submit it here for your grade. That's why we have the screenshots. Now it would also be nice for you to submit it here, but your grade will rely on the screenshots that we get in the Mount SAC canvas. So let's get on with task 1, exploring the users and groups. So I'm just going to go through step by step and read each step and make sure I'm in the right place. So I'll start over here at number 4 and I'll go over to services and I'll search for IAM. I'll just use the search box. I'll choose IAM over here. And in the navigation pane on the left, choose users. So here's the left. I'll choose users. And it looks like we already have some users set up for us. Just like it says here, the following users have been created. That's kind of nice. Takes a few minutes off of your lab here. So let's choose the user 1 link. Now, we wouldn't normally call this user 1, user 2. You might call this Sarah, Sammy, and Tiffany. So I'll click on user 1 link, and let's go to the permissions. We're on the permissions tab. It will be displayed down here. That's this part right here. It's showing us the permissions. User 1 has no permissions. They're talking about this over here. There's nothing showing. Now we're going to go over to the Groups tab, and user 1 is not a member of any groups. Also showing down here, nothing. Great. Now we're going to choose the Security Credentials tab, and user 1 is assigned a console password. Let's take a look. Credentials, and it says console password updated 32 minutes ago from when I did this lab. Excellent. Now in the navigation pane on the left, we're going to choose user groups. So again, back on the left-hand side, I'll click on user groups, and we have these groups. Let's verify that we have our EC2 admin, EC2 support, and S3 support. These are pretty regular groups that you would probably create in a larger organization or a medium-sized team so that different people can log in and help with different parts of your system. All right, we'll choose the EC2 support group link. So here's our EC2 support. That's the group link, and we're going to choose the permissions tab, and it says there's a managed policy called Amazon EC2 read-only access. Let's go take a look. So permissions, Amazon EC2 read-only, right there. All right, that looks good. So we're going to click on the plus icon to view the policy details. Here we go. Click on that. I'll have to scroll some more. My browser's a little small. And it's going to tell us exactly what the policies are in this JSON formatted document. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. All right, note. If you look back over in the instructions, there's some more definitions, and it tells you the effect, the action, and the resource. Now, if you want to, you could make a copy of this for your own notes, and you'll have it later in case you want to have a complete Amazon EC2 read-only access. Let's say that Amazon changes these default policies in the future. That happens. It's not bad to start a library of your own. So let's go ahead and hide those policies there. That's what step 14 said. I'll scroll this up to the top. In the navigation menu on the left, let's choose user groups. Didn't we do that already? Okay, user groups. And now we're going to choose the S3 support group, and then permissions, and then Amazon S3 read-only. S3 support, permissions, Amazon S3 read-only access. All right, so review that. Now we'll close the policy details. Nice step-by-step over here. Number 19, in the navigation pane on the left, choose user groups. So we did that again, but that gets us out of those submenus, and we'll look at the EC2 admin, choose permission, and we'll look at the EC2 admin policy. So we've got describe, start, and stop instances. Okay, great. We'll close that. And here's our business scenario. So we're going to be working with these users and groups, and we have to assign user 1, 2, and 3 with the correct permissions for the groups. So it looks like that's the end of task 1 is working through. So what we should do is, since we haven't moved our browser here, I'll go ahead and grab a screenshot, including the URL and the fact that it says Voclabs and your name. And I'll add that to be uploaded later. All right, task 2, add users and groups. So we've recently hired, this is the scenario, of course, the business scenario. Business scenario. You've hired user 1 into a role where they will provide support for S3. You'll add them to the S3 support group. Okay, so let's add user 1 to the S3 support group. We'll choose user groups, S3 support. we'll go to the Users tab, and under the Users, we will add users. We're going to select User 1. We'll have to scroll down to User 1 and add users. And now you'll see that in the S3 support group, in the users, there's one, and it's user 1. So that looks good. That's what we're expecting. And now we're going to add user 2 to the EC2 support group. So we'll do the same thing. We'll go back to user groups, EC2 support group, add user, scroll down to user 2, add the user. Okay, we've got our user added there. And same thing, user 3 will be the EC2 admin. So now we know what to do here. We're familiar. We're going to be adding users to the groups. We're going to add user 3. User 3. Here we go. And then in the navigation pane, we're going to choose user groups. All right, excellent. And you can see that there's one user in each group. Now, it looks like that's the end of the task. So I'll grab another screenshot, including the URL bar right there, to upload later. All right, task 3, sign in and test users. Now, we're going to need to choose the dashboard on the left-hand side. So I'll do that here. And I'm on the IAM dashboard. This says a sign-in URL for IAM users in this account. All right. So we're going to look for that displayed on the right. It will look similar to something sign in blah, 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 blah. So I'll close that pop-up and let's see if we can find that somewhere here. It might be scrolling down a little bit. Maybe it's to the side on your browser. If you have a wider browser, it might show more to the left and right. Since I'm kind of narrow here, I had to scroll down, and there is my sign-in URL for users on this account. So I went ahead and copied that. Is that what it wants me to do? It wants me to copy that URL into a text editor. Well, okay. I'll grab a text editor real quick, and I'll just go ahead and make a temporary text file. I'll paste that in, save it. We'll grab that when we need it. Let's see. Copy the sign-in URL for IAM. Okay, we got that. Let's go to 33. We're going to need a private incognito window. Ooh, that's fancy. So we'll open up a new private window in Firefox. I will make sure you can tell it's a separate window from the others. And I'll just go ahead and paste that in. Let's see what we get. All right, that looks correct. Account ID or alias, IAM username. Let's follow the directions here. I'm going to sign in as user 1. So here we go, user 1, user-1. And it looks like my password, let's show it. I should probably copy and paste it, but I'm just going to try and type it live. Lab password 1 and click sign in. I don't need to save that. Okay, that's fine. Go away. Tutorial. Thank you. Don't try the colors. Okay. So we signed in. Now in the search box to the right of services, we're going to choose S3, S3, and S3. And let's see. We should have permission to view S3 buckets and their contents. Let's try it. So there's a sample bucket. Can you see we're in the Amazon S3, and there's a bucket right here. So let's try clicking on that. If there was anything in here, we'd be able to see it. It looks like there's no errors. Looks like we're good. So let's see. This user-1, right, that we logged in with. Let's go back and see. We didn't write this down. What are we supposed to have? Oh, it's on that screenshot. No. We went through. So user 1 is in the S3 support group. And that's it. 2 is the EC2 support group, and 3 is EC2 admin. So if I go back and I look, lab 1, we should not have access to EC2. So let's give it a try. EC2, virtual servers in the cloud. And it wants me to choose instances. So let's look for instances over here. Instances right there. And you are not authorized. I don't even have to put a rectangle around it because there's already a big red circle. You are not authorized. Bad, bad, bad. No, you're not really bad. But we'll have to sign in as the user 2 in order to check this. So we'll log out of the console. That's fine. Let's go to users, user, sign out. Okay, great. And it looks like we're going to need that link still. So let me go ahead and paste the link in. Now that we've signed out, I'm going to log in as user-2. And I'll use that same, let's show you what I'm typing, make sure I'm typing it correctly. Password 2. Let me know if you see me make a typo. Just start shouting at your computer. It'll be fine. Now in services, we're going to search for EC2. So let's go to EC2, EC2, instances, and we have access. There's no big error. So, wait, I almost skipped something here. So you are now able to see EC2 instances because you have read-only permission, but you'll not be able to make any changes. So lab host. I don't see lab host. I'm looking for this instance lab host. This one. But I see that my region is Ohio for some reason. So I should probably change that to North Virginia. And let's see if we find the lab host now. Oh, there we go. There's our lab host. So let's go ahead and it says in the instance state, select stop instance. So should I click on this? Instance state, stop instance. All right. You are not authorized to perform this operation. Okay, that's good. So user 2 cannot randomly turn off the services that your company is using to make money. Excellent. That works. So we'll close that and let's just check user 2 that we're logged in with, or user 2 over here. This one right there should not have access to S3. Let's give it a try. We'll go to S3. S3, S3. Okay. It's not showing me the buckets. It's giving me a whole bunch of stuff over here. Access denied. All right. That was well, it clearly didn't work. I don't have access to this. So that's good. Now we're going to sign out, and I think we've figured out we're going to sign in with user 3 next. So let me go ahead and paste that URL back in. I still have it in my text editor over here. And so we'll get user-3, user-3. I'll bet it's lab password 3. Good thing they made it consistent for us. Lab password 3, click sign in. Now we're going to search for services, EC2. All right, no, don't save. I should have just signed out of Bitwarden. And let's go over to instances. Oh, wait a second. Look at that. So let's go back to North Virginia. Now go to instances. Here we go. There's our lab host. And so let's select lab host. We could click it there. And we can instance state. Now we can stop it. Ooh, I hope we don't just kill our lab. Let's try it. Stop. Successfully initiated stopping. Okay, good. I better grab a screenshot of that. Looks like we're towards the end of this lab. So there's another screenshot for me. And something interesting, this is really good for submitting inside of the AWS Academy canvas. But because we're at Mount SAC and we're using both the AWS Academy and the Mount SAC canvas shell, it's good to click submit. Like go ahead and do this when you're done, but also submit the screenshots to Canvas. That's very important. So don't worry about that, and the lab will be complete.